Hello, everyone. We are back with Istvan, who is in Ireland and working with this matrix drop system. And as we know, geopathic radiations is the very first step of the protocol that makes possible that the whole system can really function for us. So many of my friends have experienced just by moving out from these kind of radiations that even in one day, how huge difference they felt, in their own energy, even in inflammations, pains inside the body, organs, and so on. I asked Istvan to introduce a very nice person to us who have asked Istvan to help her to build a new house based on divining first. So not moving the bed around the house and sleeping indoors because we just didn't know where to sleep at, or because we just didn't think about it before. But she was that wise that she asked Istvan to divine the place first, and they were building the house accordingly. So this is a very special moment for us because she's very special. Not so many people are like her, in the world. So could you please tell us some more about this?
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to introduce Louise, because I met with Louise through our colleague who did a scan on her with matrix drops computer. So they found out that the background of her problems are from where she sleeps. So she was asking me to come and divine the bare field first before they build, because they want to make sure that in the future they avoid these problems. So please let me give the word to Louise and explain the situation by her own words. Thank you, Louise.
Okay, thanks, Istvan. Yeah, I was lucky enough to become aware of the matrix protocol. It would have been last December, and we were just planning at the moment to build our house. So in looking more into the matrix protocol, I became aware of the hardening lines and the ground radiation and such, and I had a scan done, a matrix scan done, and where I was sleeping, there was actually an underground stream under the bed, and as well as one of the hardening lines. So we realized that it was extremely important to have our bed in the right position. And because we hadn't started building the house yet, it was possible to get Istvan up to divine the ground and find out where was the best location, basically for the bed, because you spend so much time in your bed. So that was the important part of the build. So he divined the area for us and showed us exactly where the best point was. And we marked that out, and the builders worked with us on it and ensured that our bed will be in a clear zone. So there will be no lines, no streams, no anything, which I'm delighted about. I can't wait to sleep in this bed. So, yeah, so here's the house. It's another week or so it should be finished, and first thing we'll be buying is the bed to put into the bedroom. So yeah, it's great. I'm thrilled with it all.
Thank you very much.
May I have some questions to you?
Yeah, sure.
Most of the people who will watch this video will be, friends around the world who are not really familiar with the whole system yet. So I would like to ask you, like you said that right at the first scan, it turned out that you are sleeping in such radiation lines.
Yes.
What I assume is that your decision of moving out from that line was not just based on, that someone told you to, but you had some feelings, you experienced something. Like, could you talk about that just for a few moments, please?
Yeah, sure. Yes, I wasn't sleeping well. For one, I would go to sleep okay, but I would wake up not feeling good every morning, every single morning. I was having trouble with anxiety and depression, which is why I went in the first place. Just did not feel good at all. Felt there was something wrong all the time, but I would go to the doctor and be told nothing wrong, everything's fine. So I came across a lady that does the matrix readings, and I had never heard of it, but I said I had nothing to lose, so I would try it, and went and got the scan done, and it just made sense to me what she was able to tell me from reading the scan. So I moved. Ishvan came up and measured everything, and I moved from the bed. I'm sleeping on the couch at the moment, which isn't ideal. So I will be more comfortable when I get to the bed, but I wake up feeling a lot better. I had pain in my hip, in my knee, that's gone. Much more energy, and mood has lifted. So it was a no-brainer to make sure that our house was built in a good zone.
Wow, thank you very much, because it's good for other people to hear about that, not from us, but yeah, from you directly. Thank you so much. So Istvan, you wanted to talk about something?
Yes, thank you. I was delighted to come and do the work, because usually when we divine, it's already building. So when we met with Louise, I explained to her that it will be a major step in their life. And people who get the house divined and they move to a position where the bed is not above geopathic radiations, underground earth radiations, 90% of their complaints disappears. So as in the past, our ancestors always did it, the places, the fields were always divined first before they went to sleep. So when I was divining in a house which was built in 1844 here in Ireland, I found that the builder definitely knew the knowledge, because the ley lines were parallel and inside the walls. This is what we've done here. Behind us is the bedroom where they are going to sleep, and that was the major or the point of the construction. When we find streams present, to avoid them, and not only the underground stream lines, but the more stable field, which is the Hartmann zone itself. So basically, the Hartmann zone will be above the bed and around the bed, and their sleep will improve, so the energies will be perfect every time. They will wake up fresh. So this was a work I was delighted with. Thank you very much, Louise, for the possibility.
Thank you.
You're very intelligent, really, and I was pleased to meet with you.
My pleasure.
Yeah, you know what? Even Airbnb, owners are more and more interested in, to divine their place, and they could, like really advertise that their bed, wherever you travel to, even in Ireland. If you have a place like that, more and more people are learning about this, and when they are traveling, they will look for places like this, where you can say it is divined, you can sleep, some of us are so sensitive, I heard about someone who was just sleeping one night in a hotel room and couldn't stand up then, because his feet was in, or were in a waterline radiation. So it's a very, yeah, it's a very, very serious issue, and it helps a lot,
To make it visual, and it's András healing system first step. If somebody sleeps in an underground ley line, basically we see the human aura, and I bring a picture a little bit closer. The ley line creates a damage in the aura, so the problem will always manifest in these territories. That's why it's very important now to miss those ley lines. Now, if it happens in a week, in a few months or years, it's up to the person individual immunity, but the problem will fall, the problem will start. So András actually wrote a new book about how to prevent, what are those preventing causes of the diseases which have been presumed as incurable previously. So this is the first step of the protocol.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting these days. You know, people are very troubled by not really knowing that, you know, we have so many effects from the environment, and we just cannot find out, you know, what to take seriously and what not. And
Yeah.
it is so huge help that here we have a protocol, and when anyone is keeping the protocol itself, you know, we can take care of the 100% or at least the 99.9, you know, because we never say 100. But the most of the problems we can filter out with a few basic steps. And that this is so fundamental, because this is what I find. Even doctors are coming to me, you know, because they have been taught about, you know, diseases and you know, pharmaceutical orders and systems, you know, but they are human beings and they don't have a clue basically how to deal with these kind of issues. So it's an unbelievable solution, and with no exception, when I am telling to someone to move out from a radiation line, with no exception, they experience the change. So it's unbelievably important. I just was talking with someone this morning, and she said that you are talking about this so for such a long time, and it is unbelievable that you have the, you know, like you can talk about it every day, like you are talking about it like the first time. And I said, like, yes, because many people are just listening to that, but they don't even hear it at first. And to get to the point that you believe that it exists, you know, and have the will to move your bed, sometimes this is what takes the most time, you know, for some people.
Not for Louise, so I was
Not
delighted.
for Louise, yes.
Yeah, thank you very much. She's very, very intelligent. Thank you, Louise.
You're welcome.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Gabriel. Thanks for the possibility. I was delighted to come back and double check that after the construction, everything was kept right. I'm in the position. I have to say the builders did an amazing, so an accurate work, and I'm happy to say
Wonderful.
it's a good big sleep for you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And then Louise has some, not just some, a lot of experience with animals, how to deal with them based on the matrix drop system. So we would like to invite her for some more videos where we can talk about that, if you would be ready for that.
Sure. Yes, that'd be great.
Thank you very much. Thank you for both of
Thank
you.
you very much.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks, Gabriella.
Thank you.